Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
I don't know if I started the same way each time, but I always feel like in my head, I was like, did I start it this way last time? And
I heard one playback recently where you said, welcome back to the exciting new podcast. So you don't start the same way.
So I do switch that, and I keep thinking in my head, I was like, should I say this? Should I say that? But I think we're doing okay with
whatever you want to do, I think is fine.
Let's get right into this.
Never have a script.
We have 3 stories this week, and they are Issacs Double Standard, One More Time, and Chimpanzeeshines. That's one word. Chimpanzeeshines. The original air date for this episode was January 14th, 1978.
That is my father's birthday. He was a young 41.
41.
He's
That's
exactly 10 years younger than I currently am when this aired.
That's crazy,
that was
right?
A long time ago.
Here's our IMDb description for this week's episode. It's Issacs' mom and her male companion share a cabin. Julie books divorced entertainers Lenny and Mitzi, who can't get along together, and Gopher hides a thieving chimpanzee that brings him in contact with a nose job patient, which is like
nose job patient.
Why they had to throw the nose job thing? I don't think that part was necessary, but
to the entire script, why?
Because she could have just been on the ship with her mom.
I guess because she was kind of in her room. Yeah, maybe that's why. That isolated her in the room.
We have some guest stars this week. Our first one is, you may know him from Inspector Gadget and Get Smart. Also, Tennessee Tuxedo. Yes. Don Adams this week. You have any other things that you remember Don Adams from? He didn't have a lot of credits. He only had 37 or so acting credits.
Yeah, but I mean,
wasn't a
Get
lot.
Smart was on forever. And so was
then there was a movie. Then there was I think the series was relaunched for like a season or a couple seasons. I think. I was
going to say 90s, when they started bringing like Leave It to Beaver back and stuff like that, they were bringing
trying to bring all those
shows
back. Yeah,
and possibly.
Yeah, I do remember it being at least 1 or 2 seasons.
I'm sure I didn't watch it, but that's okay.
I didn't really watch the original Get Smart.
No, I watched it. My grandfather loved that show, so I used to watch it with him a lot.
Yeah,
and that had Bernie Capel on it. He was he was one of the bad guys.
Wasn't he one of the Russians?
Yeah, I forget the name of the bad guys. They were like the James Bond Spectre.
But he was like a recurring bad guy.
Yeah.
He was on
I don't remember what Bernie Capel played in that, but he was in it. Doc.
I do remember Bernie. That's a good connection. And now to think about this episode, you really don't see Don Adams and Bernie Capel in any scenes.
They don't interact at all.
Really.
And this would have been obviously after Get Smart. So
yeah,
maybe there's a falling out.
That's I always wonder. You always wonder that kind of stuff though. Like, or they're like, yeah,
I will not appear on camera with Don Adams.
Like, but we really want you to be on the this episode, you know. And he's like, our next. So yeah, Don Adams, 5 episodes is 5 different characters. So this is his first of 5. So we'll be seeing him 4 more times.
I wonder if he will have a better hairpiece than he did in this.
This was bad, right? It's
terrible.
He did not look good in it. No. He looked really old, I thought, in this episode.
He's not that old in this.
No.
I mean, he's like 50-ish or something like that. Yeah.
He seemed like, I don't know if they were trying to make him look older because of Mitzi, maybe. But, next, we have her one and only episode playing Millie Washington, Pearl Bailey. She didn't have a lot of acting credits, but she's been in a... She
was a singer, right?
Yeah,
singer, I remember last week when we discussed these upcoming actors, the guests, I confused her with... Minnie
Pearl.
Minnie Pearl, yeah. So as soon as I saw her and looked her up, I was like, oh, okay.
Then there's Minnie Ripperton.
Well, I think the Pearl was the thing.
Maya Rudolph's mom with the... Loving You, I think was the name of the song.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
That's Maya Rudolph's mom, Minnie Ripperton. Yeah.
Okay. Pearl Bailey. I remember always hearing that name when I was growing up, but I couldn't even tell you what she sang.
I do have a show I watched as a kid that she was in 2 episodes of, Silver Spoons.
Oh, so really?
She had a 2-episode arc in Silver Spoons where she was Rick's dad, who was Edward. Edward Stratton.
Ed Stratton.
His when he was a kid, that was his like housekeeper / like she took like nanny kind of thing, like so. Okay. And then she comes back to talk to Rick, and then I think they try to hire her for some like cooking or restaurant thing or something like that. I do remember.
Did Ricky Schroeder have a nanny? Like, was that a character on the
He didn't have
Silver
a
Spoons?
nanny. No, I don't remember.
I remember Aaron Gray was on that, but she was like she worked for. She was like
she worked with Edward. Then they got
and then they were hooked up, right?
Married,
yep. Yeah, after Buck Rogers. She was on Buck
Yeah,
Rogers.
because she was in Buck Rogers' 25th.
with as a blonde.
She was
Yes.
gorgeous on Buck Rogers.
You used to watch that one?
For her.
What did Twiggy,
the model?
No, the robot on Twinkie. You can't hear you, Brian.
Better.
Yeah. That's what I was going for.
Follow that. Oh, yeah, so I said she's only in one episode. This was her one episode. So
Who was that? Aaron Gray?
Pearl Bailey.
Right.
No, that's
Sorry.
good. I wonder
I got you
if
off
we'll
track.
see Aaron Gray in
Sure,
a
why
future
not?
episode. I don't think we see.
Probably a
I don't
kid.
think we see Strattons or anything like that. But the next, she's in 3 episodes, 3 different characters. Nanette Fabre. She's playing Mitzi Monroe.
She had a very specific look, but then when I looked her up,
She only had 47 acting credits. I saw she was 42 episodes of One Day at a Time as the
Really?
grandmom. She was Grandmom Romano.
oh, okay.
So I didn't really watch One Day at a Time.
I watched it.
I watched it, but I didn't pay attention to it as much as I should. Like, it's one of those shows that was on, and I was probably building Legos or something in the background.
She had a very specific look, but I don't know what that was.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I put her down for here was Grandmom Romano. That's all I really noticed that she was in that.
So that would
Hair
be our.
lip or something.
What's that?
Like she had a hair lip or something.
Did she?
I don't know.
She
What's a
kinda-
hair lip?
Isn't that when
Isn't
you
that
have
what the,
something
like,
wrong
the-
with your
like-
mouth?
Where it's like a cut or something like right down the middle or whatever.
Oh,
No, she almost
maybe.
looked. She almost looked cross-eyed or something like that. Something was going on with her, but
I didn't notice. I guess I
I
didn't
don't
really
know.
pay attention.
Maybe I did.
I did notice she was wearing yellow, like, and Don Adams made that banana joke in the beginning too.
I was looking at it from the side. I had a weird angle when I was watching it, so maybe it was just the angle I was watching it at.
It's possible, yeah. But we'll take a look when we get into this. We'll see how she looks. Our next
But
guest,
I guess that would be the third One Day at a Time person we've had now. When we had Bonnie Franklin and
we've had
Pat
Schneider.
Harrington,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
When's
And I don't-
Valerie Burton Ernie getting on here?
Or what's the other
Kenzie
one?
Phillips.
Kenzie Phillips.
Mom
and,
and the Papas.
Yeah, that would be. And then also Richard Mazer. Maybe we'll get him.
Correct. And now I remember who that is because you brought him up before. We've as we go back and listen to these episodes to QC them for all their.
Yeah, there's like
Make sure Brian has edited us properly.
there's
I
also
pick up
stuff
on
like
thi-
I hear in an episode. I was like, I don't remember saying that. I would have kept that up. The
Yep.
LBCU, the Love Boat Creative Universe. I think that's great. And I
Or
heard
I'll
it in an
say,
episode.
oh wow, Brian or Jason brought that up 3 episodes ago, and we've never gone back to that. And I probably should have gone back to that.
Yeah,
But Richard
why do we
Mazur's
do
one
that?
of those people.
Why do we forget? Like
Because
from one episode to the next, it's not like
we're all higher
I
drunk while
know.
we do this, and we have no fan base. To
I just
text
noticed
us
your
or-
olives are gone.
Oh, my old drink's gone. But we have no fan base to text or tweet us and saying like,
Oh,
"Hey, 3 episodes ago,
yeah,
you
I
talked
did-
about blah blah blah."
I won't say their last names, but Mike and Dana have been giving us great reviews
Have
on
they?
there.
You sent me the mic one,
and
yeah.
one half of Nanny Does has given us a great review on YouTube. So
When's Nanny Does performing on? Can they do the Love Boat theme on here?
yeah, can we have another band do the Love Boat theme, and would that be something we could use?
Yeah, I think so. I think they can do the Love Boat theme. We like have to sing.
False lyric.
Yeah, like make up our own lyrics.
Oh,
and
that
then
we can
should-
do.
How about if we just keep saying exciting and new, even though that is part of the lyrics? We just keep saying that. I go exciting, and Andy goes and new. Okay, so our next guest is she's 2 episodes, 2 different characters. She's playing Cynthia Parker. I don't know how you say her name because it looks like it's Allyn. That sounds like Alan to me, but it's a lady, so I'm thinking Alyn maybe.
Maybe. And who is this? Which character is this?
She's Cynthia Parker, the nose job.
Oh, okay.
She's the one, all right.
Yeah.
yeah, she's the one with the nose job. I have her here. She's been in like a lot of like 1 or 2 episodes of like Punky Brewster, Knight Rider,
Okay.
Webster.
Was she the one that was in like Knots Landing or Dynasty or
She
something like
was
that?
in that
I know it's one of
probably, but
those-
I also saw she played Arthur Carlson's wife on WKRP in Cincinnati.
Wait, what? Is that Mr. Carlson, Gordon
Yeah.
Jump? And she's like 25 years old.
Yeah, she played his wife.
Go, Mr. Carlson. I mean, he can
Or
molest.
is Cynthia
he can-
Wait, is Cynthia
or
Parker
is that
maybe the mom?
Is that maybe the mom?
It might be the mom.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be the mom.
That makes sense.
Because then she was also in the new WKRP, which ran from 91 and 93. Did you know that? I
Another
had
show
no
that they
idea.
brought back.
She was-
Gordon Jump does like I'm young.
Gordon Jump.
He'd
Will
like
be on-
some very young.
We'll be talking to Gordon Jump about talking about Gordon Jump in an upcoming episode. No, in an upcoming episode, we'll be talking about him on our other podcast.
I was going to say, Gordon, if you can, from the dead,
if we got
us.
Gordon Jump, I think that would get us a lot of hits and views for our podcast.
You had one opportunity to bring someone back from the dead, and it was that Dudley molested Gordon Jump. Really?
So we can record that episode. He gave us a 30-minute interview. It was perfect.
So when you were touching Dudley, how did you feel?
I was like, what did you put in the food to make them sleepy? And what was in their drinks?
I did a lot of other things. I acted in many, many things.
He's also George's boss in Seinfeld, remember?
That's right, yes, where he fake handicapped.
That was not Kruger. That was when he I forget. Tell Mr. Tomasulo I'm in my office.
Weren't they like a toy company or something like that? Because he had the rubber
cane.
ball.
Remember, he's like, right, wrong.
You were looking in the mirror.
And that's also where he gave out the gift, the human fund. Was
that the same one? Was that Human Fund?
It was the same. He worked at that company. Or no, was that at Kruger? That was at Kruger, right? Yeah, that's right.
but that was definitely where he had his own private bathroom.
And then
because that's where the ball.
Then they tried to take that away from him, and then he was climbing through. All right, I'm sorry, I got carried away there. So our next guest, she's in 3 episodes. It's 3 different characters. Tracy Reed, and she's playing Isaac's lady friend, Charlene Franks here. She's in Running Scared. You remember that movie with Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal?
Gonzalez, don't pay me no more. I remember that. That was also a book written by I'm going to say Gregory McDonald. He was the guy that wrote all the Fletch books.
Is that the guy from Doobie Brothers?
It might be. But the guy that wrote all the Fletch books wrote the Running Scared book as well.
That's
yeah,
cool. Nice.
But
he got it.
So
made.
she
movie
was
too. That's pretty.
So
cool.
she was Isaac's girlfriend on this episode, and she's going to be back 2 more times. Not as Isaac's
one more
girlfriend.
time.
One more time.
Or no, 3 times. Yeah, she's on 3 times. So what did I say? Running Scared. She was in a season 1 episode of the Brady Bunch. She was Cindy's teacher.
Oh my God! Really? She didn't look old enough to be Cindy's teacher.
Well, that was 78.
So when's Brady Bunch start? 70? 71?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I guess she would have been very young. Jason's looking down at his notes like he's questioning his information now.
She was in Car Wash, 2 episodes of Benson, 11 episodes of Knots Landing.
She was the Knots Landing one.
Yeah.
Okay. I never watched Knots Landing.
She was in an episode of That's My Mama.
Was that the...
That wasn't the... Artie had one on the Mad TV. He's like, don't make me break my foot off in your ass.
But That's My Mama is... Isn't that man, I'm blanking. Coming to America. Sexual Chocolate. Isn't that...
I was not a big... I watched it once or twice, Coming to America. It's not big...
Lord!
So I don't know it as well as that. That's what I'm saying. I liked it. I didn't watch it a lot. But.
If I was sober, I could remember what that was, but I can't remember that now.
Oh, that's gold that we just lost for the podcast. Think about it. And we had one other person that was credited. The rest were non-credited. One episode. This is her 1 episode only, and she hasn't acted in anything ever since. I didn't look to see if she was still alive.
She only acted in this and nothing before or ever again.
Louise.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Louise is only. This is her only acting credit. Now, I thought that too because I was like, oh, maybe there was an issue, like she wasn't good, but she seemed like
she seemed
things
well trained.
That she did on this were pretty impressive.
I thought any which way but loose, or
that's what I was hoping that she was in something like that. Like even like if she was
orangutan,
even if they had multiple. That's true. That wasn't orangutan. Yeah, but
who cares?
I mean,
throw her in there.
Yeah,
throw her a bone.
We're all apes, right? Cut that.
They're apes.
I think we had to cut that part out, right?
What? They're all apes?
I said that we're all apes.
Oh, we are all apes. Well, we're descended from. And in fact, chimpanzees, which she is, Louise, is the most closely genetically to a human on the planet.
Oh, that's also like they say about dolphins. They're very close.
And dolphins are also like humans, yes. But chimpanzees, DNA-wise...
One chromosome or something like that off or whatever.
Wouldn't that suck if you were born...
that.
You get born in chimpanzee and you're like, God damn it, I couldn't have that one chromosome?
You're like, I would want to be the like most effective human over a chimpanzee. You would have to, like, you would think, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
You can at least talk and watch TV.
The Love Boat. I mean,
you'd miss all the Love Boat
on it, but you couldn't enjoy it.
She doesn't know what she's doing on this episode.
You know, it could be why too. It's really hard to stop yourself from throwing your crap around.
Are chimps the ones that do that? Is that their thing? I know that's a thing.
I think
but
I think there was just something recently where it was. I think it might have been gorillas or whatever, but it was like at some zoo or whatever, and there was like a school and whatever, and they just started giving like oral sex.
Oh,
like,
yes. I saw that clip. Yeah,
that was hot.
Yeah.
What that wine does he have left?
He better not edit that out. Hey, Brian, what happened to that?
It's all of a sudden
sex
just like
joke.
2 minutes skip ahead. It's like, what?
That didn't make sense.
Shall I hit play and we'll get started on this episode for our opening scene? You think so? Or
Oh my God!
How far in are we?
Not been doing this yet?
I don't think we did that bad this time.
We're a little over it. We're at 23 minutes, but I
that's
think
fine.
But we had it
we
on.
started at like 6 minutes. So.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
That's good. I think a 20-minute. I like our
preamble.
our little guesting. It's not as exciting. The guests weren't
Just
as
because I
exciting
question
this
the time doesn't mean you should ever question that we're too long.
I also want to keep it to
because I listened to that one from last week, which was 2 hours long, and I
as
laughed
much as
a lot.
I love listening to it, and like I used to think I would hate hearing my voice. I got used to hearing it.
I have gotten used to it also.
But I actually enjoy listening to this podcast, and then I listened to it, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I said that, or it's like, Andy said that.
You know, it's funny when I re-listen, I think to myself, I recognize Jason and Brian's voice. I'm like, I don't know who that other guy is, but he sounds drunk, and I don't know how they put up with him interrupting. And
when I hear my voice, I'm always like, is that what other people hear too? I'm like, ooh.
I realize now why I never got laid in high school or college or most of my 20s or 30s because of my voice.
That's what Dana said. Dana
said that?
No, Dana said that we have her and Tara both said that we have good podcasting voices.
We have a face for podcasting. Yeah, that's what she said, I believe.
That's how I took it as well. But I mean, she was being nice at saying our voices were
just being nice.
Dana, we'd love to have you on. I keep asking.
Dana will come on for sure. We were talking about it the other day. She'll come on.
All right, good. And who else did we? Anthony will come on for our other podcast as well. But
Anthony will be here. If we called him right now, he would come on.
He would come on.
We have to hear how. We have to hear.
Yeah, I want to hear that episode.
The one he was on.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about editing that one.
I keep assuring him that everything's cool. Like we didn't really have to edit out too much for him. But I mean, there's some stuff everybody gets. We get edited out a lot. But I mean, especially I think we had some issues where you doxed me about 4 or 5 times. I doxed you a few times here and there.
With Anthony, it was. It's just gonna be like, hey, Anthony, welcome to the show.
And that's
okay. Bye, Anthony. All right, let's get into this stupid Love Boat show.
Here we go. Starring Lauren Hughes. She looks so cute.
You know, can we just pause for a second? I just want to point out the fact that every time I watch, and I watch it from the beginning all the time, I don't skip the credits because I want to see the names in the portholes or whatever. They focus.
Can't wait to see the pictures in the porthole.
I'm waiting. I want to point that out when it happens.
Season 2, I think.
So they focus on our crew for like 2 seconds too long every time they show them. Like Gopher is staring at the mountains in the distance, and he turns around and smiles, and you can see he's almost like, "Oh, okay." Like, how much longer do I have to hold this smile?
Like,
she is definitely uncomfortable in the length of time that she has to stand there and smile and kind of like raise an eyebrow. And
at the very end, she kind of, you see her eyes flash away.
It's almost like, how much longer do I have to do this?
You know what's missing from a lot of these episodes too is like
Coke around her
70s
nose?
and 80s 70s and 80s television shows where they ended with the person and they would freeze.
But they don't freeze.
But
they raise the anchor.
These are just
and each one of it. The only person who looks natural, but Doc is like joking around, checking his heart, and then he kind of takes a deep breath, and then he's looking around. He looks Isaac. He does the finger thing, and he looks the most natural. But
and he looks so happy.
He looks like he wants to be there, and he got the best chompers on the chompers.
The nicest teeth I've ever seen. I mean.
It's a weird thing to point out on somebody.
It was such a weird episode, but it also came from like every angle. Like his mom said it, obviously,
and then his girlfriend
to show it was like a doting mother kind of thing at first, and then like his girlfriend says it. Then her mother's, his mother's
boyfriend's a dentist, right? Yeah,
so. And he says
you really have nice teeth. Okay, Well, he
Like, what does
flosses
he
all
say
the
to
time.
that? I mean, or unless he's using them to hold his model airplanes together because sometimes he uses all the dental floss for that.
Man, I had
that's
no
what
idea
Mama-
where you were going at first with that.
That's what
She
Pearl
does say
Bailey
that.
thinks.
She does say that. But when you first started saying it, I was like, what's
Like,
happening
what is
with
he
the
doing?
model
Is he saying real words?
All right, now we can start the episode. Sorry, I just
Okay.
wanted to point out how every time I watch this, they seem to linger on these people an uncomfortable amount of time.
Would you guys be willing to get an anchor tattoo?
Don't I have one already? I don't.
I think that'd be fun.
With the little heart and the anchor there.
That would be my first tattoo.
It'd be your first tattoo, but also, or do we get like a circle with like our favorite guest star?
Hey, also, Jason, point out to our listening audience, Brian, what you noticed about the font on the Love Boat.
Oh yeah, the Love Boat font is being copied by the latest 007 movie. I don't know what the name of it is.
No Time to Die?
No Time to Die. It has the same font as the Love Boat.
Yeah, I think the font's called like Fortuna or something.
Well,
like
it should be
that.
called Love Boto, and
Yeah.
they're stealing it.
It should be-
Fortuna,
I
like
said we
did Fortuna from
I say we
Star
petition to change it to Gavin McLeod font. That's what I want to. That's
That'd
what
be
I want to
good.
call it. Yeah, the Gavin font.
And remember, I'm always wrong about everything, so it's probably not.
I
Fortuna.
can't remember a time when you were wrong, so it probably is Fortuna. Bib Fortuna font.
Bib Fortuna is one of my favorite characters from Star Wars. Yeah,
Don't be da.
he tickles R2. Remember with his long fingernails.
Because he wants the message out of him, yeah.
Yeah, it's such Star Wars. No,
Oh,
Oh yeah, I remember.
Okay.
he had the big fleshy thing out of his head.
he's
right?
a Twi'lek, right?
yeah.
Oh, he's a
Twi'lek?
Twi'lek.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like the girl that gets thrown into the pit.
But that thing, it comes out of his head and it like wraps around. It's like
Yeah.
around his neck. Yeah,
And he was actually in The Mandalorian.
yeah. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett shot him right off Jabba's
Speaking of,
throne. Spoiler.
Book
Can we spoil Mandalorian?
Book of Boba Fett this December.
Soon, yeah, December. Yeah,
That's
nice.
exciting.
I'm very excited for that.
I'm looking forward to that as well.
Every Mandalorian season wipes out the taste
prequel
of
or-
not the prequels even so much now. The
Prequels
sequels.
are I'm okay with because you know what? It has George Lucas's stamp of approval on them. I think.
I honestly didn't like him at the time. Revenge of the Sith was the only one of the three that I saw in
I
the
think
theater that I
I
actually
can watch
enjoyed.
Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith fine. I can get through Phantom Menace, but I do fall asleep. That podcast or pod race.
This podcast puts people to sleep.
Edit that,
for sure.
please. This podcast does not put people to sleep. This podcast keeps them going.
I have seen Phantom Menace more times than the other two.
I think you said more times than I
prequels.
care to.
Well,
to admit.
more times, but like I've seen that. Logan and I did a rewatch of Star Wars. We saw Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones halfway through Attack of the Clones. Logan's like, no mas, so we didn't do that. I took Danny to see Phantom Menace in the theater when they were gonna
to
do them
re-release.
all in 3D. So I was like, let's go and then they didn't. They did.
They stopped, right?
They did Phantom Menace, and I think then Disney bought Lucasfilm, and they just stopped doing it. So that was the only one that got released.
Now you got to
So
watch them all on Disney Plus, which is
And
fine. I like that they're all there. That's good.
the thing I respect now in hindsight about the prequel trilogy is that there is an actual cohesive story. You can see the story from the very beginning where it's going. It might be a shitty story,
Yeah.
and there might be some terribleness, especially episode 2 with Anakin and Padme.
Oh, the acting you talking about there
I'm in agony.
in the field when they were in the field.
In the field and by the fireplace when she's wearing that like push-up bra. She's not trying to turn this guy on, and she's wearing this thing. I'm like, you're not trying too hard, but as much as the prequel
Attack
sucked,
of the
there's-
Clones, we miss out on there's a big age difference there.
yeah, like
Attack of
10
the
years,
Clones,
right?
So yeah. So for her to even be dressing like that, it's like, come on, you know what you're doing to this kid. I mean,
But there's a story there. The sequel trilogy has no story at all.
the sequel trilogy was just basically like fan service. Like, hey, you like this in the original? Check this out. Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon.
J.J. Abrams is a
Okay.
hack. Everything he's touched is terrible, and you can't tell
Including
me.
Lost.
Including Lost. The one Mission Impossible movie he did was the worst of all the Mission Impossible movies.
Did he do a Star Trek, right?
He
Yeah.
did the first two, and that Into Darkness one with
Is it the one where
Khan.
Oh, boy.
And in the first one, which at the time I enjoyed, looking back on it now, not good. But that sequel trilogy, he had one idea and one idea only. We'll get Han, Luke, and Leia back and kill one off.
But also, you know what else?
And that's the only idea he had. We're going to kill Han in one, Luke in the next one, Leia in the next one, and then Carrie Fisher had the fucking audacity to die before they could kill her proper. So they're just like, we'll have to fake this death.
Yeah.
Damn you, Carrie Fisher, for dying.
That was sad.
It's very sad.
She was only 60, I think, right?
65, I think.
Yeah, because I think Mark Hamill just turned 70, which is crazy. Like,
well, Brian and I are in our 50s. It kind of makes sense.
I know, but it's just crazy to think that.
I don't like it when you bring that up.
Cut that part out.
Brian and I are in our 30s.
I hate being 50.
Do you hate being 51?
Even more.
All right, shall we continue?
When you hit your 50s, people don't say, "Oh, he was so young." They don't say that anymore.
No, they
don't say that anymore. They just say, "Ooh."
Yeah, like you see relatives now, like, "Oh, look at you." It's not like, look at Jason.
No. They're like, "Oh, look at you now."
Like that's
time is shat on you.
Look at Jason over there. I don't think he can stand. I'll go over and say hello to him. I don't think he could stand up.
Do you know what happened to him?
Is there anything I shouldn't say? Love
Boat.
Boat.
The Love Boat, exciting and new.
Opening scene. Here we get
opening scene.
Julie and Gopher.
Is this the Love Boat? Does it say London anywhere? I remember you pointing out London.
Doesn't say it this time. It's just we just see Pacific Princess mostly this time. But we get Gopher comes onto the ship with a duffel bag that's obviously
there's an animal in
something in it.
There's something crawling around inside. And the fact that Julie kind of shrugs and walks away is insane. Because how can you allow?
Questions it, so she definitely sees it, and she goes to open it, and then Gopher says, "No, I got this," and then just walks away with it. And then Julie just turns around and goes through the doors.
Now, let me tell you, he's going to drag that thing down the stairs. Would you drag a chimpanzee or a dog or a cat? Maybe a cat, but
you got to feel bad.
Drag an animal down the stairs
that's
in a bag
to an animal. There, I didn't like that.
ASPCA.
The captain's looking for Purser Smith here.
He said something about like I like saying hello to the passengers, but where is Yeoman Purser Smith, whose job it is to say hello to the passengers?
He was
that's my Gavin.
Burl Smith said he was late because he had a flat tire, and Julie tried to cover for him a little bit there. But that was also a very good Gavin McLeod.
Thank you,
because it also sounds a lot like
85,000 other people.
No, Tony Curtis.
Tony, I don't know.
Or is it Tony? Is it Tony Randall?
Oh, Odd Couple. Tony Randall.
So
was that Tony Randall?
There's that one joke that Gilbert does about he does Gavin McLeod, and it's one of the Tonys, and they talk about, would you like a donut? I'll have a donut if you'll have a donut. And it just go back up. You know what I'm talking about.
Right? Very good Gilbert doing a very good Tony something.
Because Chico needed the money.
That's my.
It sounds like
Gilbert
Jerry Seinfeld,
Groucho.
though.
It does have a bit of a.
What's the deal?
What's the deal with? Because Chico needed the money. Ah! You just hear him like yelling, Chico needed the money. All right, I'm sorry. I got
we can
off
do a
track here
podcast
again,
of all mine and Jason's terrible impressions. Who's that?
Here we get.
If you have to ask who's that, it's not a good impression.
Julie's welcoming Cynthia and their daughter, who just got a nose job, who looks really hot, by the way, even with the...
I'd like to see what her father's nose looked like, but...
That was a weird joke. Like, he's like, I know you have your father's nose, and she almost started crying.
But, I wonder why they went on a cruise right after surgery. I get that she needs to rest after...
Here I thought was pretty rude, too, because the mom says to Julie, she says, who did your nose?
The man upstairs.
She said, the man upstairs. She's like, oh, to be lucky to live in a building with a doctor upstairs. I was like, what happened here? Did we pause?
I wonder what's going to happen to Julie's nose by season 5 when she has been snorting coke every day for 5,000 days.
And
it's not going to look as good anymore.
There goes our Lauren 2's episode that we had scheduled for a few weeks from.
She knows.
Look, instead of Lauren 2's, we'll have the guest spot will be filled by Anthony once again.
And Anthony can regale us with all his cocaine stories, and he's got a million of those.
No, I don't know.
I'm not going to say his last name, so we have to cut that out. What the hell was that?
That was sound like bubble wrap, didn't it? That's
like
a
slow clap,
single clap, like kind of like. Isaac here is looking for his mum.
He's
His
British
mom
all
is
of a
coming,
sudden.
His mom's coming on the ship, but at the same time, he's telling Gopher to look out for his mom. A beautiful young lady comes on, and they full on start making out. And Gopher says, oh, "You have such a young mom." Like, first of all, who's kissing their mom like this? That Gopher thought.
In Gopher's defense, I thought the same thing. All Isaac's doing is talking about his mom, and this girl comes running on, and he starts making out with her. I was like,
"I'm sorry, but I wouldn't think that was his mom." Would you, Brian? Would you
nor
think that
would
was his
I.
mom?
But he
They're
was
very close.
He said, "My mom's coming on," and he starts kissing this girl. I was like, I guess that's how it is in his family. But
they're very close.
Honestly,
that's like,
bad job on Isaac.
Tom Brady with his open mouth kiss to his son, right?
As much as I love Isaac and want to see him push to the forefront in all these episodes, scheduling your mom and your girlfriend to be on the same...
Well, she isn't scheduled. She comes on and says she was tired of waiting for him, so she booked a cruise. So
he should have said, "We'll take you next week, and I can have all the time to spend with you."
He
next
said, "My
week."
mom's coming on. Come on," and she's gonna have this guy with her. Oh wait,
well, he doesn't know that the guy's coming, but honestly, he should have said, "My mom's coming. Don't come this week."
And also, if your mom is coming on this ship and you haven't seen her in a long time, you're gonna make some time to see her here.
Yeah, and he wants to see. He wants to see his mom. I want to see my
sense
mom.
that they had no chance to talk to each other, and that's how things got out of hand for their story. Which
I just like to point out that Doc and Julie are talking there, and Doc says something about, "Did you see my 5'10" blonde? No. Did you see my 5'5" brunette? Did you see my 4'10" redhead or something like that?"
Yeah, I had that written down.
Oh, did I steal your thunder? I'm sorry.
No, I think because I wanted to put because of the size.
Yeah, he kept.
We didn't really get any cabin numbers this episode.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did specifically see Aloha deck on a sign,
but like they didn't get any like, "Oh, you're in this room," like
promenade deck 323.
So here it is. Doc was saying, asking Julie about a blonde 5'7" looking for him at first. So that was the first one. And he said, "How about a brunette, 5'4"? Then he went redhead, 4'10". He was like, he just kept getting shorter and shorter. And then that's when Millie shows up. Millie is played by Pearl Bailey, and that's Isaac's mom.
And I get that, like, we're not supposed to know she's on the boat with a guy.
Right away, she said,
"Why doesn't she come on with the guy?"
I thought that was weird too. Like, why isn't he with her right now? And also, she says, "I know my son's probably out chasing a girl." Like, she already had him pegged for having a girl on this cruise. It just seemed a little,
and that's fine, but
easy for the story, I guess. You know,
maybe a lot of story convenience. Are we not going to get a?
I thought it was funny there too because yeah, we'll get a bon voyage.
Do we get a bon voyage? I'm doing the confetti throw.
But I know exactly what you meant. But Doc was, or when she's saying like her son's prim and proper. Remember, she says her son's prim and proper, and Doc's like, "Prim and proper," and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
give him some time, give him some time." And here we get the banana I was talking about earlier, Mitzi, Mitzi, Miss Monroe dressed in yellow. I guess it's Mitzi Monroe was her name. I thought that was funny. Mitzi Monroe dressed in yellow. It just rhymed. I thought I'd get a little something out of you guys. It didn't really. It didn't really kill the way I was hoping.
Hang on, Brian's looking for his button.
I thought it was going to be the golf clap, but I'll take that. I'll take the L. But here we had Miss Monroe. She was rude to Julie at first because she says she called her Jenny and she called her Jackie, which I just thought was really rude because she said, "No, it's Julie." And she obviously booked her. So she had to, I don't think she has an agent right now. So it's just, she had to have talked to Julie in the past. It just seemed odd. Now, the thing that Miss Monroe had a problem with, she's going to sing, but she doesn't have her accompanist. Pianist. She needs a pianist, but she called it an accompanist.
Accompanist.
Yeah, something like that.
Isn't that the thing you look for directions with?
Accompanist.
Right.
Yeah. Mazel tov.
Accompanist is the thing you look for directions when you're lost, right? They didn't. They went
only
to
mentioned Ensenada.
Empanada, you're right, yeah.
So Julie says she does have a pianist for Miss Monroe, and that pianist just happens to be Don Adams, who is her ex-partner and her ex-husband.
Right. And he wears a lot of gold chains.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot. Every
And
scene
you had a
with him
problem
is
with
bullshit.
his hairpiece in this episode.
Well, it looks stupid.
It
I know.
does.
I know what Maxwell Smart's hair looks like, and that is not what it looks like, unless that's his natural hair. But then
Did
wear
he-
the piece.
She said the one line where she said ex partner, ex husband. She said everything. She said ex everything except exciting, which I thought was funny.
Is it exciting and new though?
Exciting and new podcast. That would have been.
Bump. I did
Oh, that was
the
quick.
bump with my fingers.
He's getting quicker. We find out they were married 10 years, and it feels like only yesterday. And he says, "You know how miserable yesterday was." And here's
That's a great line. I love that. I actually laughed when he said, "You know how miserable yesterday was." I mean, that's a old joke,
that's an
but
old
that
joke, yeah.
I laughed when he said that.
It worked. Yeah,
You
that was
know
a
how
good one.
lousy yesterday was.
And here's as Andy called it. You can't see me. I'm just throwing my hand in the air.
the confetti flinging scene.
And there's a funny little exchange in this too, because you see Mitzi and Don Adams, and they realize they were laughing with each other, and they get pissed off, and they switch with the person.
I did not
next to
notice
them.
that. I don't think I remember seeing that when I watched this, the Bon Voyage scene, because that
There was also a lot of
struck me as-
boat shots. Like it felt like there was a lot of
Yeah.
filler shots in this episode. It seemed like
they've shown it at 3 different angles there as they were
and there was a lot of like
deporting.
right. It would have been the commercial would have been right at that part. You just see. So we get Isaac here doing some drink deliveries, and he said, "Have you seen my mom?" Like, how? This is the part that bothers me. Like, why wouldn't he have not made point to see his mom before he started his shift?
And these guys probably get a certain amount of time off during the year. Isaac should plan his time off on the ship for his mom to be on, so he can actually spend time.
Which is
with
why
her.
Gopher says he thought he was going to be off.
Thought he
this
was going to
week.
be off. That's why.
So that's why he
Louise.
took our chimpanzee and Chimpanzeeshines, which sounds like it should be a horror movie. Like, isn't Monkey
Shines was a horror movie. Yeah.
Chimpanzeeshines could have been the sequel.
But
so
chimpanzees aren't monkeys.
I know, but it was a sequel. They're apes.
Yeah, but apes aren't monkeys.
Well, in Planet of the Apes, there was multiple types of apes that were like
They were all apes.
but they were
None were monkeys.
yeah. But is a chimpanzee a monkey?
No, it's an ape.
Yeah, so I'm okay.
I don't think you are.
Yeah, because I said Chimpanzeeshines is the sequel to Monkey Shines, which is better, bigger. Chimpanzee is bigger than a monkey. Am I right? Cut this part out. So Isaac was talking to Gopher about making sure his mom gets like a good tour. Or Gopher said he had somebody giving his mom a tour, and it looked like she just met the captain here. And this is
Yeah, he makes a line like, "You've never looked better," and she's like, "You only met me 2 minutes ago," or something like that.
and he said, "I'm not lying." So it was
Not lying.
But here she sees like I guess there's like a little hole, a rip in the tear in Isaac's jacket here, and she talks about him bringing it to her. She's gonna fix it, and she'll
Which
get
does
it back
bring up
to him.
the how is maintenance on these suits that these guys wear actually handled? Does he bring it to? Is there some kind of?
And how many jackets do you think he has? Because he doesn't just get one.
He probably gets a lot.
Yeah,
he has to wear it all the time.
And if figure he's on a 5 or 10 day cruise, you think he?
And as we've seen with Isaac, he not only is the bartender, but he's the waiter and the room service guy.
Not only is he the waiter and room service guy, he also has time to stop in the middle and get pulled away from dinner service in a little bit. He was serving drinks.
Will we get there?
So here we just find out you could see like Pearl Bailey is like a doting mother, kind of like she's like, she kind of like you could tell she kind of babied Isaac as a kid, and this is how it is as an adult now. So she walks away.
But they're laughing.
Yeah.
Gopher and Isaac are laughing. It's like, that's my mama.
Who was in an episode of That's Why. All right.
And so now immediately as she walks away, his girlfriend walks up on
Charlene
deck.
shows up, and Charlene looks really good. That's all I have to say about her.
I thought there was going to be a follow-up there. Okay. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So where am I at here? Okay, we're in Don and Mitzi. Don and Mitzi are talking about their gigs, and mentions
Is this where they discuss the Poconos?
The
and stuff
Poconos
like
are
that?
brought up,
Okay.
and she says, "Oh, Poconos, that's just a bunch of hills and mountains." And she says she's busy with TV and Vegas and Tahoe, which Vegas and Tahoe, 2 great venues, by the way.
And TV too,
been to
bro.
both, yeah. I like the TV as well.
And listen, as a person that's been to the Poconos a million times, that's a good place too.
Poconos is a fun time.
I wonder if she was at like beautiful Mount Airy Lodge or something like that, which back in the 70s would have been a happening place.
What's the one in the Poconos that has the champagne glass? Is that Mount Airy Lodge?
Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge.
Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge.
Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge.
Yes.
I've been there
Now,
in the
is
last.
it still there?
It was closed down for years and years and years, and then someone brought it back recently.
Because,
now it's a
I know there's a
casino.
couple casinos out there
There's
now.
a casino. We went there for fireworks a couple of years ago with the kids, back when the kids were young. So it's been probably
Yeah.
10 years now, but yeah, it's back. It's not the place it was.
Beautiful. That's going to be stuck in my head now.
Michelle's father has a story about that. Maybe we'll have him on the podcast when he's in town in a couple of weeks. But his Mount Airy Lodge story is that something happened to their room, and then they got comped a room, and then they went back 30 years later, and he looked for the comp to the room, and they're like, "We have no record of you. We've only been open for 6 months or whatever it was." And he's like, "I was here 30 years ago, and I got a comp room."
Wow.
Oh, it is insanity. He was telling me this. Is like, I got a comp room there in 1978, and I want my comp room. I'm like, it's 2012, man. They're not going to hold that comp for forever.
They didn't, in 79, they had no idea what he was talking about. If you went in
And I'm
there,
sure it was a different owner. They don't hold comps to the next owner. And when a place closes for decades.
Because I'm sure they took all those paper records from 78 and made sure that it was put into their computers.
Jules is a little bit of an eccentric. Jules would be a great character on the Love Boat.
Also, that's just the beginning of the stories that we could get from Jules if we can get him.
We should have a special Jules podcast.
If you have him down here for poker that day on the 6th, I think we get him down here early and we
record
say, whatever we can.
Jules, Joe Gallo. And then you will just hear about Joe Gallo for an hour. And the lion in the basement and the Mondo the midget. Can I say that when it's someone's name?
I think so. Like that's the name that they would respond to, I think,
Yes.
right? That was their
handle.
name or handle, like their CB handle, like that, right?
Jules has a lot of stories. Anyway,
back to our love boat here. So we were talking 7-Eleven Club in Trenton came up. We looked that up. That's not a real club.
I was hoping you knew about that. I was like, oh, that's right next to City Garden.
I wanted it to be like, I'm thinking like I was trying to think of clubs with numbers like in the Trenton area, but this could be before that time. You could be thinking about maybe that there might have been a 7-Eleven club in the 50s or something,
maybe
around there or whatever.
She's going back when she's talking about her career.
Because that's 78 there, you figure, right? So
Julie with her white pants comes in.
You love those white pants, don't you?
She looks good in them.
And they talk about how they can't work with each other here. You know, Don offers to do a solo show, and she says, yeah, he's a regular Liberace.
I'd like to point out that Don Adams is not only wearing gold chains, but he's got the sweater tied around his neck now.
She says he's a regular Liberace. He said, and you know what would be best if he lights the piano and plays the candelabra. So then they talk. Julie says, okay, we're going to flip a coin and decide who's going to play solo, and whoever doesn't has to pay for their passage.
Yeah, and now they're both like, oh, whoa. I'm not going to pay for this crappy cruise.
They're like, I'm only on here because you pay me to be on here and perform. So,
although if the deal was you get the other person's salary too, I might take that flip. So if they're each getting whatever, if they're each getting $1,000 to be on the cruise, but you get $2,000 if you win,
and then you get to perform by yourself,
I might take that flip.
But what if you lose? Well, then you have to pay for your passage, and you're like, you don't have that money right now.
You probably don't have that money, so you're jumping overboard. In Ensenada, you're going to run away. You can't make me pay.
Do you think that? But I don't think that's a fair thing. Like if they were like, "Oh, you're not going to be on this cruise now. Also, we're going to make you pay for this."
Oh, I don't know. They're probably under contract. I think that's very fair.
But Julie was I guess that was their decision to not. If it was Julie,
if you're not playing together, then one of you is paying for your room.
All right, I changed my mind.
Yeah, I'm glad I changed your mind.
No, you didn't. I changed my mind. I said. Guy over here thinks he's changing my mind.
Oh, I did. I stated my case, and you're like, you're right.
That's your closing argument?
I couldn't possibly give any kind of argument right now.
So they decide they're going to work together. And then we get Isaac wondering who his mom is with.
And I'd like to
Sitting-
point out that Isaac's wearing a gold jacket now. The one that he ripped was red.
True. Is this because it's a dinner jacket, maybe?
I guess
Or-
so, but no one else changes colors.
Yeah. Percy
Gopher's
Smith is
always
in
wearing white. Doc's always wearing
and
white.
Captain's always wearing his shorts.
And Julie wears different dresses. So Julie
Can we
definitely
talk-
changes
I think-
colors. But
I can't respect him so much as a captain in the shorts. When he's got the pants on, I respect him a little more. That's
I'd like to point out that I watched a Sopranos episode today, and it was brought up that Dons don't wear shorts.
that was Junior, right?
No, it was Carmine, the New York boss.
Okay.
And he said, Tony, Johnny was at your party. Dons don't wear shorts. I love that line. Dons don't wear shorts. Captains should not be wearing shorts
I
either.
agree. Could that be Brian's first tattoo? Dons don't wear shorts.
Dons don't wear shorts. He doesn't wear shorts now. It's 100 degrees outside. He's wearing jeans.
That's because of his back, right?
Exactly, he said. I'll translate for Brian when he's not on mic.
My back hurts.
What the hell do jeans have to do with that?
I thought it was funny. I was just trying to make some.
I was just agreeing with you.
Mute that thing.
This one's off the rails.
Mute that. I don't want to hear from you.
So Isaac again is wondering who his mom is eating dinner with, and it's we find out it's Mr. Roy Harwood, and he's a dentist.
Please tell me you have some pull on this guy that he was in other things, because as I'm looking at this guy,
I didn't look him up.
I know he's from something else. I looked him up too. He was like one of those guys that was in a lot of stuff, but nothing that stood out. He was not like
So it's like the one episode it is.
very much that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I really thought he looked like he was somebody.
Yeah, he's no
not.
Mary Treen, which is my favorite callback.
Which one was Mary Treen?
She was Kay on the Brady Bunch.
Oh, I was going to say the banker from The Jerk, man. That one really threw me for a loop when you pull into that one out.
Banker from The Jerk. And then wasn't there a Brewster's Millions one I did too?
There might have been. Oh, well, was it,
Somebody was in Brewster's Millions, I think.
yeah, well, Larry Tate, Bewitched's boss.
Yeah.
He was in Brewster's Millions, yes.
Yeah, I remember bringing something out. You're like, yeah.
I like when you mention people that I've seen and stuff.
I think it's fun when I do the deep, I'm not doing like a deep dive. I just go on IMDb and I'm scrolling through real fast and I see something.
Most
if
of
it's
these
just
people
showing
have been
pops
in all the same stuff. It's all like those serial stuff from the 70s days, and some of them are in multiple episodes of Dynasty, Knots Landing,
Yep.
whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
But when you hit on a Jerk or a Brewster's Millions, good stuff.
Yeah, and you never know.
But this guy, the boyfriend here, the dentist, he looked like somebody. As soon as I saw him, I was like,
But
oh,
you didn't see
I know
anything.
who this guy is.
You didn't see anything.
No,
that-
couldn't find anything. So all you Twitter people out there,
Let's see.
let me know what Ron Woodward was his name, DDS.
Roy Harwood.
Oh man, I had the initials right.
I was looking him up real quick here. I don't see his name. Roy Harwood.
He wasn't in the credits or the opening credits anyway.
I know he wasn't in those. Oh, here we go. Roy Harwood, DDS. He died in 92, born in 1915.
Damn, really?
Oh, he was in Midnight Madness. I love that movie. It's Michael J. Fox's first movie. David Naughton, Stephen First, Midnight Madness.
I don't think I know that movie.
Oh, I love this one. It's where they go on.
I don't know that movie either.
I have it. This could be one for our other podcast to watch. Yeah,
okay.
it's they go on like a scavenger hunt.
This is pre-Family Ties, Michael J. Fox.
This is 1980.
Oh, very
Yeah.
pre.
Because I believe because I even believe he's not top billed. Like David Naughton is top billed.
Naughton.
And then it's,
You're saying that like I should know that name.
yeah, he's David Naughton. You know who David Naughton is. And you know him from American Werewolf in London. No?
I don't think so. Griffin Dunn.
Griffin Dunn, yeah. David Naughton, American Werewolf in London.
Is he the other guy? Is he the friend that gets killed out in the moors?
That's him right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is him, the one that gets
Yep.
killed.
I have his autograph on the Midnight Madness
Oh my
poster.
god, I thought you were gonna say on your penis. Swear to God, I thought you were gonna say that.
That didn't even come
I couldn't
close.
even I couldn't even look you in the eye as you were saying I have his autograph on my
That wasn't even close to. I was even making my mouth didn't even go.
I
didn't
was
pop
looking
a
away
pee.
by that time.
No, I have. as the Midnight Madness movie poster. I have that signed by David Naughton, and when I brought that up to him, he had like all like the American Werewolf in London and stuff like that and I was like, "Will you sign this?" And he was like, "Whoa!" So he was like excited to see that. So
Excellent.
It's always fun when you break out something like that. Like
that people don't expect you to break.
Like
out.
when I had John Astin sign the Riddler.
Really? People weren't down with that?
Well, I mean, it wasn't like the most popular picture to have signed by
everybody. And he wasn't the first Riddler either. Frank Gorshin was. So as much as we love John Adams,
I'm letting him have that one because he said he thought it was going for peace.
I was like, John Adams, is he a president? I'm like, what did I just do?
I let you sit in that one too.
But I had to think. As soon as I said it, I was like, I know that's not right.
Yeah, as soon as you said Adams, you're like,
it's like, wait,
that would have been a perfect button hitting thing.
If you had been on it, if you weren't sitting here with your hands down your pants, you would have hit a button. You would have wah,
these buttons are hard.
But you can edit that in after now, right? Like take out this talking and put the sound in, right? Would that work or no?
I guess it could.
This guy spends so much time editing this bullshit, and you're going to make him do more now.
Listen, we're on YouTube now. 9.
And you know,
last time I looked, 9 subscribers. That means we're 9.
I bet there's 3 living in this house right now.
That means we're 991 subscribers away from getting monetized. If we can get 1,000 subscribers, can you go around at work and just have your employees subscribe?
I could probably force people to do that, so you get like 20 people right there.
Watch it, right? As long as they're subscribed, I think we're good, right?
I'll put it on the board tomorrow. I'm gonna have to put it in Spanish though, so.
YouTube in Spanish is fine. We welcome it. So we'll just have to have I'll do a second post in Espanol.
Do they do? Is there like a special, like a separate Spanish YouTube? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
No,
I think you would just like seek out like Spanish
speaking YouTube videos.
Yeah, okay. Probably or whatever like that.
Do we do that in this? Do you Google Translate our whole entire podcast?
No, I can now if you want.
I mean, we might get like 2 or 3 more listeners.
We got one listener from India.
Christine,
get the hell out of here! Really?
Christine wants to get him.
Pot? I don't know. I'm sure it was
Christine wants to get him doing some more stuff too. So yeah, if he could, if that's something else you want,
let me tell you something.
We'll do Spanish. We'll do French.
I work with his wife. She's not happy about the amount of time that he spends dedicated to this. She's like, "Yeah, I wanted Brian to help me do something outside," and he's like, "I just have to edit this one podcast."
Do you think she would ever come on?
Oopsie.
She might.
I actually, Logan and Brady, Brian's son, were supposed to do something tonight. I was like, look, if you got nothing else going on, you still got time. You can watch the Love Boat episode and come down and be on the podcast.
It all takes 15 minutes to watch the episode. You're in, yeah.
And he looked at me with eyes rolled, and I knew that I didn't.
I can't remember. Did you say, have they released any of their stuff? Like, is it out there?
Logan stuff? No. Not on like maybe on YouTube. Maybe just like videos.
I know he had like a podcast, Instagram account or whatever, but I didn't see anything posted for them. So I was wondering if they had posted any.
They've kind of lost.
By the way, our 6th episode is dropping tonight. So thank you for all you 9 people out there. We love you.
Do you think there's people sitting around right now hitting refresh?
Anthony's.
I was going to say, I know of one person that's sitting around hitting refresh. I know one person is. Oh my God! And he's on Mountain Time.
He asks all the time. He's like, "Well, I need another. I'm finished. I'm caught up."
He's on Mountain Time. So is that 7:00 out there?
Yeah,
we don't.
But it's still so it's 7:00.
Yeah, 9 Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 Central or Mountain,
and 6 Pacific.
6 Pacific.
5.
That's specific.
5 specific.
That's 8 specific. I wasn't sure if we damn, what was the word when they used to
That's just twice this.
God damn it.
Man. He had it. It was right there too.
John Adams many olives.
John Adams would know it. Michelle said to me before she left, "Don't have 2." I had 2.
Quincy Adams would know it.
Oh, John Quincy Adams, his son.
How about just Quincy MD? I think you might even get it.
I got it. ME. He was an ME.
ME, that's right, yeah.
We got to move on. I can't even remember now what I was trying to remember.
I don't even know what we were talking about. That you had something to go. I don't even remember where we're at in the episode.
This is going to be hell to edit.
This is the one you don't even edit. It's just going. Just go.
We were good on time in the beginning too. It's like 20 minutes in.
And
It's
then
only
we talked about
17 minutes.
Star Wars for an hour and a half.
But seriously, where are we at here? He's just seeing Roy Harwood for the first time. He gets introduced,
and he grabs what's his girlfriend's name? Charlene.
Yes.
Charlene. He grabs her and he says something very sexy to her. I
No,
forget exactly what it was.
He's trying to think of. She wants to go meet his mom, and he's pulling her
But
away.
he says, "When
he
you're
says,
at her,
why don't we make our first?" It made no sense.
Oh, but she got it. But she's like, "I am in,"
because she returns the favor a little later on. And this was funny because they end up face to face without even seeing each other until they're right there.
And they both do a camera turn. Don Adams
and they both walk
Maisel.
away. They sit down. The waiters are like, "What the hell happened here?"
And they both walk out the entrances or the exits that the other person's walked in.
Yep. And then they go out the door. He leaves. She stays though. I thought.
Oh, does she stay?
Yeah, this was pretty good. I like that was some good slapstick comedy there. I thought and then he put his nose up against the window, which. Who's doing that? Because that is absolutely disgusting. I don't care if it's the Pacific Princess or not. Even Julie,
doors.
Wouldn't put her nose on that.
Is she known for putting her nose on things? Oh,
She's had her nose on some glass.
God damn, man. I gotta stop drinking before these podcasts. She doesn't put it actually on the glass. It's like millimeters above.
So here we had who we got here. We
were discussing in a previous episode about the eating arrangements for the crew, and we got a scene here where Julie and Gopher are eating dinner.
And Julie's dressed up really nice,
which should now actually become one of our things we look for rather than Titanic jokes and elevator jokes. It should be the crew eating.
Yeah,
because I bet there's a crew eating scene in every single episode of The Love Boat, and Gopher's wearing his regular. I mean, he's got a tuxedo tie and stuff like that, but Julie always has to wear a different dress.
She's got a nice gown on. And
like, what's she doing?
Probably wearing pantyhose.
How is she getting? Sure. not later in the episode, but does she have 500 dresses just hanging in her closet?
Like, I mean, I know there's a shop there where you can get some clothing.
So that's she's going to go buy a dress,
or does she get it like
at gift shop store prices?
She wears it and then brings it back, maybe kind of.
Oh, thing? With the tag, she's got the tag tucked in the back. She goes back. And she's like, "I am returning this."
Like I wore this and. Gopher didn't really find me cute in this, so I'm gonna. But here we get Gopher stealing food. He's putting it into a doggy bag of some sort that he has made here. Julie doesn't remember eating her carrots, and that's because Gopher took them.
Spoiler. Do we know that yet?
She just said it right there. She's like, "Where's my carrot?"
She knows she doesn't have the carrot, but we don't know why she doesn't have the carrots.
Well, I mean, you kind of figure it out, right? Because she goes to. Eat his potato
in the bag, and
she goes to eat his potato, and he takes that. It's like too late, and then he walks away. His excuse is he gets hungry, but not at mealtime. I just didn't.
And now we go back to nose job lady and her mom.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure
she still doesn't want to leave the
important these guys are into the story, but them by themselves, who cares?
This is where she says she's afraid to take off the bandage because she thinks it'll be worse, and the mom says, "I know you have your father's nose."
Oh, this is the father's
nose. We don't see the father or know the father, but rumor is that she was the mom was married to Jamie Farr.
You know, she looked what? Oh. Waiting.
If he goes wah wah, I'm gonna. That's not even the right one, is it? Or was my joke that bad?
I think it was the fact that we didn't get it for 5 seconds after.
So who is that horn from me or is that from
Brian? but it is
a
funny
terrible joke.
But it is
it was very topical though.
Yes.
For 78.
Jimmy Farr was huge at this point. MASH was rolling.
I thought it was working. He's got a big nose, and it's one of those things that he's knows. It's his.
Well, I remember Alan Alda and Jamie Farr making nose jokes at each other on MASH. Because they both had big noses. They both still have big noses. They're both still alive.
And I was like, right before I said Jamie Farr, I was like, I almost said Jimmy Durante, which would have also worked. But I think
nobody knows who he is.
Our audience wouldn't know who that is.
Well, if they're watching The Love Boat, they might.
True.
But if they're watching The Love Boat because we're making them watch The Love Boat so they can listen to our podcast, then they won't.
I know people seem to like the little 30-second clips.
Jimmy Durante was in one of those Christmas specials, though. Which one was he in?
Jimmy Durante was also
He's the narrator of like the Rudolph or the.
Yeah, I want to say. I think it might be. Is it Frosty? Because now I was going to say Rudolph, but now
one is
Burl Ives.
Burl Ives is Frosty. He's
right?
He's the snowman, but
he's in. Isn't he in? It's a mad world.
Well, who wasn't? But Jimmy Durante's one of the. Jimmy Durante is the Frosty. Burl Ives is the Rudolph. I can see cartoon Jimmy Durante and Frosty.
Okay,
but I'm just saying that would probably be most people's knowledge. Yeah. Jimmy Durante. I think be mine. Right. It would also be mine.
Should I have said Pinocchio? Would that have worked better? Or
now we're discussing the joke? I'm
dissecting the joke. I'm just trying to. I mean, 78. I went with Jamie Farr. He was at least making TV shows and movies then, right? So,
yeah, 10 minutes ago when we were on that scene, I was going to point out the fact that she looks very much like Vanessa Williams, but
okay,
I don't think it matters anymore.
I think
because now we're way past that.
Yeah, here we're getting Gopher stealing more food.
This chimpanzee eats better than most of the people on the ship. I wonder if the
Julie is
chimp
so Gopher steals
livers and onions.
Gopher steals the nuts here while Issacs talking to some other guy. Again, he's in gold now, and he's been brought back to behind the bar here. And Julie comes from the dining room where she just was with Gopher, who stole her food. So she's coming in here to try and get some nuts or pretzels or whatever off the bar here, and the bar is empty again because Gopher took the nuts. And Issacs like, "Is there an elephant loose?"
Great line. As a fan of nuts, bar nuts are
these nuts.
You can't eat bar nuts. People have stuck their hands in there.
Is that the same with pretzels, gross. Right?
Whatever food's on a bar, don't touch it.
Unless they take the bowl out, put it in front of you, and pour it in front of you.
Maybe if they pour it new. That's the only time.
That's the only time. Well, it would have been new, but I think they were all
for
out
Julie, yeah. But then they were.
Here we get a glimpse into
this is Gopher's
his room, and we got
many Humphrey Bogart
posters again, and we see the one. It's about the movies All Through the Night. Do you know that movie or no? I don't know that movie.
I don't know any Humphrey Bogart movies. I mean, I know he was in Casablanca and stuff like that, but I've never seen it.
So he comes into the room and he's calling for Louise.
And so how many minutes are we
17 minutes and 20 seconds into the episode, we see the chimpanzee out of the duffel bag this time because we allegedly saw.
I would hope that was not actually the chimp in that.
I would hope it wasn't either. I was hoping maybe Billy Barty
or Gilbert. Thank you.
That's close.
An oldie but a goodie.
And I didn't get the horn that time, so I feel a little better.
So now we realize
Gopher's basically having a conversation here with the chimp too.
Well, listen, I have conversations with my dog, so it's not unheard of to talk to the pets that you have.
If you were going back and you were about to feed a chimpanzee that you were trying to hide from people, wouldn't you have locked your cabin door?
Every single time this animal escapes from this room is all on Gopher. The fact that he knows that this animal can open the door. How do you let this happen a second time and a third, fourth, and fifth time? Because it happens multiple times.
And how is this chimpanzee so stealth? It's like, I'm going to just like...
Well, she's wearing that cute pink dress. She's
distracting
Gopher
did keep her dressed nicely, right?
Yes.
Here's another shot of remember I said we had a lot of boat shots.
Now, most of these chimps wear diapers and stuff like that, so they don't have to worry about messes.
We get Doc and
Louise wearing a diaper?
Nose job girl mom.
Jason's just steamrolling over me. I want to know about the chimp with the diaper.
I'm sorry. I knew you told me to keep the episode going, but I missed. I wasn't paying attention. I was rolling in. I agree.
Chimp diaper. What
chimp
do you think?
Diaper.
Diaper full of cum.
Oh, dude.
Gopher's cum. That's what I meant.
Sorry, I brought it up.
You made me stop. I'm steamrolling you for a reason. I was really steamrolling Brian.
We don't get a... I'm hitting...
It does sound like a fail at the end, like it's not. But
that was a fail.
So nose job girl's mom is here with Doc Bricker, and Nose Job Girl is locked in the bathroom, not wanting to come out. And Doc basically just says, let her come out and take the bandage off when she's ready.
Let her be her.
Yet. Yep. And then Doc kind of started flirting with the mom here.
So the mom's got to be 50s ish here, right?
Right. Doc says 50s. He needs the sunglasses because she's dazzling.
Yeah. Doc is
Doc's about in his 40s here,
but he's usually going after the young women on the ship. So the fact that he's
nice to see him. She's not a bad looking old
not at
lady,
all.
yeah.
Not at all. It just seems that's odd that Doc would be going after an older woman, because I'm sure there's young women up on deck.
Because it seemed like almost like the mom was trying to introduce her daughter to Doc.
And it's not
for
like
that reason,
it's not like Doc is trying to play wingman for Gopher, because Gopher hasn't met the daughter yet. So it's not like Doc swooped in to be like, I'll take care of the mom.
When Gopher and her meet too, their like eyes are just like
starstruck or lightning, like Bobby Brady with the fireworks.
I was just gonna say it was fireworks. Yeah, that was
Bobby.
Do you remember the girl that he kissed? What her name was?
I do not.
I do. Do you got
I'm
it,
sure
Brian?
You do.
Millicent, and that's he saw skyrockets is what he called them.
Skyrockets,
but it was really like fireworks. Like but Millicent.
Millicent?
Yeah, Millicent.
Sounds like a witch's name. Maleficent.
Should have did a Brady Bunch podcast. All right, but
we would have already ended by now. Listen,
those are only half-hour episodes too.
Is that on Paramount?
It's on Hulu. The thing is, like, I could probably do that without even watching. I'm like, this episode 1, you're like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I was like, what's to do? What's to do? I'm Mike Brady. Okay, so we're back in Gopher's room here.
Do we leave Gopher's room?
Yeah, this is where because we left. We saw Doc with the.
Oh right,
and then she finds out her glasses are missing at this point, right?
And she had Louise had the glasses.
Yeah, because that's why she was saying she needed the sun. That's why Doc was saying he needed the sunglasses. So Louise is wearing the sunglasses, and Gopher's basically.
And she just strolls right out of the room.
Gopher's asking her where she got them. Like, how did you get them? Like, it was just stop it. Like, what are you doing?
Are you expecting the chimp to answer you? I got them from the promenade deck, room 317.
Paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Pee Wee Herman.
I saw Jan Hooks in something today. I was like, there is no basement in the Alamo.
Okay, so we get Mitzi showing up to practice late with
Mitzi.
And she says they want to do a salute to the 50s. He says, what are we saluting, your age?
She's probably
and she says,
50,
no,
right?
Let's salute your jokes. We'll go back to the 1850s. And then it's
she's got to be in her 50s, right?
Yeah, she wants to sing Fascination in E flat.
E flat.
And so that goes by a couple times. She starts sneezing. So she starts complaining that he had the air conditioning on really high to get her sick. So she's almost sick. I don't think she would be that sick instantly from walking into the room and being that cold there, but she's coming down with something here.
Jason, air conditioning in women is a tricky thing. They can feel that.
Do not
cold
even get me
so
started, because there have
fast.
been many of fights where I said 72 is not
it's
cold.
not cold. I deal with that every day. Every day with air conditioning at work, and the
72 is not a cool temperature. It's not, especially in an office setting. And if you're cold in an office setting, that's why you got a fucking sweater. Put your sweater on.
Believe me, these women are wearing sweaters, blankets. They have drapes around them.
They're ridiculous. I know somebody that would have a heater in their cubicle at one point. I won't even mention her name.
Is it Dana?
No,
because Dana's one of
she
the
sat 2 seats behind her.
My wife?
No, that's 3 seats behind her, right in front of her, right in front of your wife.
Okay, yeah, Nancy.
Yeah, that one.
Well, she's like 3 feet tall.
I know, and she's probably she might weigh
short.
60 pounds.
I can understand how she gets cold fast. Can we cut this all out about us talking about the women that I work with?
That'll make it a little easier for the edit, because it's going to be like, oh, I'm just cutting out this 12-minute chunk.
Yeah, this episode is going to be 30 minutes long.
It's just be like, I'm Jason.
And then Tom Adams came on board and left.
And you were like, John Adams. Like, what?
John Adams.
And you hear Millicent, Skyrockets.
Maleficent.
And it's like, and you can find us on Twitter. Okay, so they're practicing here, and they end up different tempos. She's singing slower, he's singing, he's playing faster, and she ends up closing the piano on his hand.
The piano cover.
She continues sneezing.
Man, what the hell's that word?
Getting sick.
The piano keys cover thing. There's a word for that
There
thing.
is whatever covers the keys.
Is there a specific word for that?
I
don't know
feel
if there is. Now that
Piano hood.
that sounds like it should be a thing.
that sounds
It's not.
really racist, like your penis hood.
What?
I said that sounds really racist, like your penis hood. It was like a double. I did a sexual.
Hold on, my soundboard's not up.
Yeah, let's see.
Jesus.
Wait for
As
the-
we're in the middle of the part that we're cutting out anyway.
Here we go. Here's
Let's
the horn.
keep-
Wait, I got to get to my horn. I deserve that one, but please, that's part of the 12-minute chunk that's being cut out, though, right?
Yeah.
So, Christ.
That's actually a little. It's very eerie now that I hear it more. Like it's just. I
You
don't
can't tell me that's not Jabba's voice, though.
know.
Oh, that's a good one.
And this has always been my favorite one.
I'm in danger.